Hello, and welcome back to Wonderland Asylum. Back today, issue 72 of the Hachette Partworks release of Titanic, the ship, the legend. So what's in the magazine? An article on the Doric and the Ionic. Two ships, many owners. Apparently they were sold and transferred a lot. It's a New Zealand Shipping Company poster. It's some pictures of the vessels anchored in one of the piers of San Francisco, apparently. Horses going to war. It seems more of a reference to the movie War Horse than anything else. War Horse, but it's talking about the Ionic when it went to serve in the war. Honestly, I didn't know that was there. And that's us. There's a bit more to do today, despite it being a smaller box. So without further ado, let's have a look and see what's in it. Okay, so in today's box, we have some brown envelopes, some more AP screws, we have an LED board, and we have a cable, again marked Z for Zulu. Now, I'm going to make the assumption that that is going to be one of the cables that links all the LED boards underneath the Promenade Deck together. What is in the first brown envelope? Pieces for the aft grand staircase. Yep, there we go. And again, that has the clock on it, but of course it doesn't have honour and glory, as they were only in the boat deck level of the forward grand staircase. In this envelope we have one of the deck housings, or the parts of the superstructure. And then in the other brown envelope we have, I think that's all, 4 benches and some window frames. Now, the part that jumps out to me, and I'm not sure if it's deliberate or not, is if you look at that deck housing, everything seems to be slightly off kilter. Now you've got the nub there, which would house the deck light, and then the same there. Now these ones I'm not going to be able to drill out, because if you look, they're right at the top, and that one is right behind that bracket. So those aren't going to be able to be drilled out, but I will of course drill out the porthole in each of the doors. So now again, the aft grand staircase does need painted, but I'm not going to make you watch me do that, because I showed you it last time. So I'll just be doing the same, painting the stairs that bone white colour, and again just a quick brush over all the brown pieces with the, what do they call it, Beastie Brown from Game Colour. So I'll get that painted up, I'll get everything ready, and I'll come back to you in just a moment. So we're back with the deck housing. I have drilled the portholes out. I'm not going to drill out the deck lights because, as I say, look where they are. You're not going to get any sort of effect, and it's just going to risk ruining it. So the first thing we're doing is fitting these little window frames. You can see them, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So I've got my applicator, just run a bead of glue round the side. What I tend to find works is to line up one side and just drop it in and give it a quick push with your fingers. Easy does it. I know people have had problems with these. Again, I think it depends on what you're used to doing. If all you've done before is kind of builds of cars and stuff, you've never kind of had to deal with this level of detail. As I said before, I said numerous times when I was building Bismarck and when I was reviewing Bismarck, I started building 1/72nd scale World War II planes with my dad when I was little during the school holidays. So I think they look fantastic, incidentally. So I'm used to doing very, very kind of detailed work, and I'm used to the bits not fitting very well. Whereas in this, the majority of the parts are fitted without any trouble whatsoever. And the last window frame going in just like that. And there we go. There is that little deck house. Okay. So next thing we're doing is bringing over the Promenade Deck, turning it upside down, having just fitted the grand staircase to it. I thought I wouldn't have put the top on the grand staircase until after we'd done this, but we need 4 of the remaining 5 AP screws. And make sure the windows are pointing to the back. Probably will only fit one way, but it certainly will only sit properly one way. And then these screwed in to the 4 holes underneath. See why I didn't want to glue the benches on before I did this? I don't understand sometimes the order they do things in. Partworks seems to be particularly bad for it. Like they're telling you to put the deck details, the top half of the grand staircase, the vent and the 4 benches. They told you to fit all of them before turning it upside down and screwing the deck house on. So if you've not done this already, which probably by this stage, because I've had these for a couple of weeks now, most people probably have done this stage, but that's what I would certainly recommend is flick through the instructions and see if there's any glaringly silly bits that you think, I'm not going to do that way. Now, I'd seen a few people comment that they didn't understand why this deck housing was being supplied now instead of the ones that kind of go on the top. So if I turn this over, what it actually does is it creates a bit of stability on the same level as the bottom of the grand staircases. So that sits quite flush on the ground along with them, so it lessens the strain on them. So I quite like that that's been supplied at this stage. But the next thing we're doing is fitting 4 benches here and here, first and foremost. The benches are one of the few deck details that you do actually need to glue. The majority of the deck details will sit in quite happily, but the benches do need glued just because of the shape of the mounting point more than anything else. Here, 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 here. And again, I had seen some comments on some of the Facebook groups that people weren't happy with the level of detail on the benches. Again, you're in luck. You can get more detailed ones from like the KA upgrade set, or again from 3D printing websites. So you're not stuck with what's supplied. You can always upgrade. And finally, there is a vent, which again I have, of course, coloured the inside black, and that goes in just here, just like that. And that, the grand staircase, that little deck housing, and those details at the back, that concludes issue 72. Okay, so that's us done for issue 72. And that's us done for this month. That's all the magazines I have just now. So issue 73, 74, 75 and 76 should be with me in the next couple of weeks. And they are all focusing on putting further details onto the Promenade Deck. In fact, in issue 73, we have the first class entrance with some windows, another LED strip, another cable, the two bulkheads that go at the front of the Promenade Deck, and the, as I say, the windows and some screws. So yeah, again, that primarily is what we did today. You can see the grand staircase there, the little deck house right at the very back there, and the benches and the little vent. So yeah, again, adds a phenomenal amount of detail. It does it every time we're working on this, no matter what we're doing. Always adds quite a bit. I'm quite impressed with how quickly it grows. Yeah, and I can't wait to start adding, say, the buildings on to the front. As I say, I believe the one for issue 73, if I look again at the picture, 2 seconds and I'll be able to tell you exactly where it goes based on the shape of it. Yep, it's the bit that goes here. So this front deck house we get in the next issue. So that'll be awesome to add that on, and just really, really looking forward to it. Can't wait. If you want to join me to finish the rest of this model, please do subscribe. Any comments, criticisms, concerns, complaints, or if you just want a chinwag, do drop me a comment. And do leave me a like as well, please, because it helps out massively with the algorithm. It tells YouTube I'm doing a good job, and it tells me I'm doing a good job as well. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out, everyone.